Filipino chef Michelle Adrillana is challenging traditions in French cuisine by cooking things the Unfrench way. Chef Michelle tells us about Unfrench Bistro and her own culinary success story. Chef, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Everyone would be so proud to have a French bistro, but you are unfrenching it. How are you doing it?
Okay, this started out of my love and obsession for everything French when I started culinary school. I thought everything was all about French, you know, ratatouille and everything else. So,
one of my favorite films,
yes,
Ratatouille.
Definitely. I watch it probably 4 to 5 times in a year. And then I realized that, you know, French is all about techniques. And at 44, you want to let go of the pretenses, right? I mean, when you're in your early ages, when you're younger, you tend to be all about, can we say something in Tagalog like paandar? I don't know the exact verbatim. Yes. There's no direct translation.
Andar. Oh.
Right? It's all about that. And you want everything highfalutin and flamboyant, I think, but flamboyance would be the apt word for lack of a better word. So I realized upon all my travels, because I do gastrocultural diplomacy projects in different countries and regions, and I realized that, you know, French is all about the techniques, and they revolutionized the techniques. So in any cuisine, you can apply their techniques. Even in Filipino cuisine, you know, all they have to do is put a structure into it. Let's say caldereta is all about stewing. Our osobuco is actually braising.
Right.
You know, so in every country, in every cuisine, any French technique can be applied. That's why it's called Unfrench.
Unfrench. So what do you have on your menu?
Oh, we have escargot.
Okay.
We have the laksa escargot, which is an original creation. I created.
So it's a fusion of French food techniques and Filipino food.
Rendition.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. The laksa escargot, we have the Thai green curry escargot. We also have the XO escargot.
Wow.
So you should come.
My God, it's mouth-watering. It's already making me hungry at 9:40 in the evening.
And the face of in French is the poached salmon, because poaching is very French and dill cream sauce is very French. The acidity is there, but we add our own rendition to it by adding ikura, our bistro-made lobster oil. We have the salmon chicharron and ikura. Wow. So it's a rendition of French and Japanese, right? So everything is all about techniques, actually.
What about desserts?
Desserts,
what are the desserts on the menu?
Oh, we have our Eton mess. Eton mess is very straightforward. It has meringue, it has chantilly, and then it has fruits. And then for our pear, you know, the poached pear is very French, but we add our own twist into it. We poach it in spices and red wine, and then we add some dark chocolate in it, and then chantilly, and so you should really come,
the Unfrench twist, the Unfrench bistro.
Right.
So, but of course, I was also reading about your background.
Yes.
You were a former professional singer who basically also toured so many countries.
Yes.
What made you give up your professional singing career and become a full blown chef and restaurateur?
Actually, people would normally say not to put it out there, but I was a heavy smoker and heavy drinker in the past. So, and being a singer, you can't do that, right? So it destroyed my vocal cords, so I had nodules. So it was more of, in the beginning, it was a fallback, but I loved to eat. I know what I'm eating, it's just that my dog would not even eat what I cook, and it's a true story.
Yeah.
My dog would whimper and back off, because it doesn't like what to eat what I cook. And that was how horrible I was in the past. But I know what I'm eating.
And then you went to culinary school.
My husband sent me to culinary school.
Okay. Because the dog couldn't eat your food.
Because the dog would not eat what I cook.
Yeah.
So I went to culinary school, and you know, being a singer, people would always go like, "What were you doing in the past?" And it was kind of hard because I don't want to explain myself. You know. But then I realized that 5 months before I graduated, I was pregnant. I went to culinary school a month and a half after I gave birth, and then 5 months pregnant. And my husband said, drop off from school. I said, no, I'm fighting this off.
Yes.
Because I was vying for valedictorian.
So many challenges, but you overcome those hurdles. But are you full-time? Are you hands-on with the Unfrench Bistro?
Very. Yes. Very, very much hands-on.
And are you always in the kitchen?
I would say 90% of the time.
90% of the time you're in the kitchen. And do you sing while cooking?
No, not anymore.
But what about expansion of the Unfrench Bistro? You have just narrated to me a lot of very interesting foods, no, in your menu. Is that also in the plan to expand to other places, to introduce the French technique fused with Asian cuisine?
It's a very good question. People have been asking. I'd love to see our brand in Molito, definitely. Perhaps outside Dasma and Forbes, that would be a great neighborhood area. But we're relatively new. We just opened a few months back. So I think it would be better to work on our foundation in the structure really well before we accept any other offers, just to make sure that we can deliver.
But of course, Chef Michelle, no? I mean, there are a lot of challenges that one faces when you're an entrepreneur, you're the chef, and of course, a restaurateur, no? It's not just managing people, but it's also managing the cost, right, of the restaurant, the overhead, rising food prices.
Yes.
How do you balance all of this?
Actually, we have a very good relationship with our suppliers, number one. That's very important. Number two, I remember when the prices of onions went up to 800 per kilo. We did not scrimp on it. We just, absorbed all the extra cost. Because the thing is that we want to make sure that we deliver and we serve food with integrity. So
and quality food.
Yes.
So every dish on your menu is served with a lot of love and passion.
Yes, but at the same time, I'm a very big advocate of sustainability, so nothing goes to waste. So we use everything from root to stem. Like for example, the peels of the bananas goes to the vegetarian and vegan dishes. We have a full pork baguette sandwich, which will fool you because you might think it's pulled pork, but it's actually the peels of the bananas in there.
So the ingredients always have an extended life.
It has.
But I'm always very curious, which I ask other chefs, what will it really take to put Filipino cuisine on the world map? I mean, we always talk about French, Spanish, Italian, Japanese, Korean. I mean, they're in every street corner, wherever you go. What will it take for Filipino food to eventually get to that level?
In the beginning, you've got to tell them a story. You can't simply tell them just to eat something that's ugly, delicious, like adobo, caldereta, It has to be in a different form where they understand. Like, for example, I went to Qatar and the Middle East, and they're going to hang you or cut off your head if you serve pork, so it's haram. So you kind of find ways like use lamb in your sisig, lamb chops adobo, and then you grill it and barbecue it. It has to be something that would speak to them, at the same time make them be interested in trying out our food. Because if you just tell them, okay, you just eat the adobo, it is what it is. It doesn't work. So it's a challenge being a woman plus being Filipino and the Filipino dishes that you put out there.
Well, congratulations on the success of Unfrench Bistro, and this restaurant can be found in Green Hills.
Yes, it's across Xavier School.
Xavier School.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
for
very much.
joining us on The Final Word, Chef Michelle Adrillana, restaurateur and the owner of Unfrench Bistro.
Thank you so much, Rico. Thank you, Sienna.